Hey, Steve Zook, welcome back to Pokes Your Chow and the guitar ladder system. Hey, I'm taking on kind of a big subject today, but you know, I've been listening to Wes Montgomery for years, and lately on the jazz station 88.1, they play a lot of Wes Montgomery, which is awesome because he really was very special, as most of you know. Now, most people think of Wes Montgomery as known for his octave work, which was certainly, absolutely beautiful. And you can listen, if you put in a search on my channel for Jam 4, you can hear me doing some kind of things. But as much as we all love his octave work, there was much more to Wes Montgomery than just his octave work. His sense of melody, his sense of phrasing, his fluidity, what I call his phrase memory, his ability to create melodies and kind of fuse it with go from a beautiful melody into a kind of a blues lick. So I want to focus on that because I think that's something that often gets overlooked in terms of Wes Montgomery. His single, and the fact that he did it with his thumb was incredible. But I want to talk a little bit about single notes and melodies and creating fluidity and fusing with blues. So that's what I want to talk about today. And so let me just start with some simple ideas that you can do. One of the things I notice when I listen to Wes Montgomery is he tends to I call it kind of a phrase memory or bubble. He tends to accelerate his phrase a little bit to create a little more harmonic tension. So as opposed to him going like this, right? It's more, and that's a huge part of his style. And the fact he did it with his thumb is incredible, right? But I mean, when you're playing any idea, even if you're doing a blues lick or whatever, if you learn to accelerate the phrase, kind of as you're going into the lick, it gets kind of a whip to it, and it creates a whole new level of depth and musicality. It's a pretty interesting thing. So as opposed to, this is just kind of a major 7 idea, but if you, even if I do that, now I'm obviously coming in with that C sharp, which is a, kind of a flat 5, but I don't want to get hung up in theory right now. But my point being, as opposed to just going, you kind of get that little, like you accelerate the phrase, right? So, and then my thought for this short video is, I was listening to some Wes Montgomery last night, and I heard him do some beautiful licks and beautiful melodies, and then he kind of went into a bluesy sounding, more basic lick. So something kind of along that line. So there's very obviously variations. Could be something simple like that, right? Could be. And then he had the ability to kind of keep, what I call harmonic implications and stylistic articulations, which is a fancy way of just saying, keep it interesting, So, and I'm not claiming this is an exact Wes Montgomery lick by any, I'm just suggesting if you work these ideas, it can help you kind of tap into some of his magic. So, right? Blues, and then maybe, because I've heard him do lots of little things like that, little like diminished arpeggios, right? But you come down the half step, whole step scale. So if you take all that, see, you could throw that in, a little augmented splash. So what I'm really talking about here, and I'm obviously going to have to do more than one video on this, is now here, again, as opposed to just going, it's, you kind of bubble that arpeggio right in the middle of it. It's not easy to do. Okay. So another thing you could do is combine like a diminished lick. So here I'm just go into a kind of a minor pentatonic idea, okay? So again, it's about kind of, I talk about this, I did some videos kind of on blues licks and minor pentatonic ideas, kind of bubbling the, I've got 12s on this, so it's not the best guitar to do it on. But that's the idea. So as opposed to, right, you want to work toward, and it's always about creating melodies. I studied with Joe Pass a little bit when I was a young man. I'm going to be 62 next month, but when I was in my early 20s. But if you look at some of the best jazz players ever, you know, you can hear them just creating beautiful melodies, even out of a major scale. Okay. So the idea, though, is to take all these little parts and then combine them. Okay, my phone's ringing, so I'm going to turn this off and answer it.